bearded man here. Do you believe in Shamagana? Either the answer is going to be yes or no. So what is it? Do you believe in Shamagana? Now, how can you lack a belief in Shamagana? You either have to believe it or not believe in it. So you believe that it isn't a thing. You believe that Shamagana isn't even a thing. I'm telling you what you believe, which doesn't seem fair, but that's what it means. You are an a person. You don't believe in and why? Why don't you believe in if you only believed in then you will receive amazing prizes, cash prizes, tax free, and cars and yachts and property, all tax free, and they'll be yours. And also you'll be healthy forever and until you're tired of existing, and you'll be able to remember things perfectly. You'll never get hurt again. Oh my word, the wonderful things that await you if only you believe in Shamagana, but you don't believe in it. In fact, you believe it doesn't exist. How dare you? Now you might say, wait. Stop telling me I believe it doesn't exist. No, I just don't believe. I don't even know what you mean by Shamagana. What do you mean by that? You're telling me I get all this cool stuff if I believe it? I mean, how do you know that? How do you know anything about this thing? What are you even talking about? So today's video, this guy has a burden of proof. Oh, the theists and the atheists. Yes, they argue about the burden of proof, and atheists, of course, get it wrong because they don't know what the word atheist means. See, that's the problem. See, here you go. So, see, theism is a belief that God exists, and atheism is a belief that God does not exist. Just like the question that I'm asking here. Do you believe in Shamagana? If you do, that puts you in the Shamagana category, and if you don't, then you believe it doesn't exist. I know it doesn't make sense that you don't to put it that way. It'd be more fitting to say you have no idea even what the word means. And then I'm adding on things to that word that if you believe in it, you get all these rewards. And and I'll go further. If you don't believe in it, you'll face horrible, dire consequences. If you don't send this email to 5 people, the ghost of a dead girl will come and haunt you. Woo! Yeah. And the ghost of a living girl will haunt you too. Wow, my word! And a boy! And any other stuff bad will happen if you don't send it to 10 people by midnight last Thursday evening or whatever. Yeah, sure, yeah. And it can do anything you ask it to, and also it's everywhere, and everyone already knows that it exists, by the way. And also, depending on who you ask, it might be called by other names, and like what you have to do to get in its good favor depends on who you ask as well. And there's different things written about it, and nobody can seem to agree on what it is exactly. But no, that's totally, see, but the word is so common. See, it's common. The is common. See, that's just used for like every religion out there, even though they mean something different by it. Okay. So, no, I know people really, really want atheism to be a certain thing. And you go to the philosophical dictionary, you go, oh, look, it says in the philosophical dictionary that atheist just means doesn't believe, is there is no God. That's what it means to be an atheist. It's without God. And that means no God. That means you're saying no to God. You're saying there is no God. That's what atheism is, according to the philosophical dictionary. And all the modern atheists, they keep trying to redefine it to say that no, I just don't believe in God. But the problem is, I'm a skeptic. So none of this matters to me. I don't care what you say atheism is. I don't care. I am skeptical of whatever this God is in the first place. Just like I'm skeptical of that because I don't have any idea of what the bleep it is. And if everyone has different ideas of what it is, and everyone has different arguments for it, or maybe even the same argument for different versions of it, how can I believe in it? What system am I supposed to use to find out whether or not Shamagana is a thing? So that's the question. So the burden of proof, who is it upon? Is it upon the one that says Shamagana is a thing? Or the burden is on the one that says Shamagana isn't a thing? Well, yes, the burden's on both of them. But with Shamagana, since we don't even know what it is, saying it isn't until you know what it is seems to make some sort of sense, but that's not really what we're getting at. Now, if we're talking about belief, then you can believe or not believe anything. It doesn't matter. You have no burden of proof. But then what they're saying atheism is incorrect. It should be not having a belief that God exists, not a belief that God does not exist, because that's not really what most atheists mean by atheism today. But again, if you really want that to be what atheism is, okay, whatever. But they're both still belief statements, so they're both free of burdens of proof. If theism is just a belief and atheism is a belief in a different way, then neither one has the burden of proof because they're belief statements. If they're statements, if theism is there is a God and atheism is there is no God, then they both have the burden of proof. So this video, is he going to say that both people have burden of proof? Well, he can't say that because he's already put it as a belief statement. Huh. I mean, there's no way that he could get that wrong, right?
Basically the same thing in practical terms. Now, these primarily tell me about you. It is a truth claim, but it isn't a truth claim about God or about the existence of God. It is a truth claim about you, whether you believe or don't. Each of these beliefs have an associated truth claim. Either God exists or God does not exist.
Oh, so remember the thing I said he wasn't going to do? He totally did the thing I said he wasn't going to do. Oh, what a surprise. What a shock. I am wrong. He did the thing I said he wasn't going to do. I can't. Oh man, I stand corrected. So he doesn't understand what belief means. Okay. No, it's not a truth claim. It's a belief. Beliefs aren't separate from a truth claim. Beliefs are just that. They're. I believe this. I believe, uh, that I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. You know, uh, that's not a truth claim. I'm not saying that it's true. It's just a belief that I have. But so he gets it right. He says those are statements about you. That's right. And then he says, "Oh, there's truth claims." No, that's a different statement. The claim would be God exists, God does not exist. That would be separate from the belief statements in full. They would be conjoined or connected. You got it wrong. Whee! Anyways,
These are both statements about reality and therefore must be defended. Now, atheists have a tendency to conflate the two, such that they can feel they can make statements like God does not exist, and then when called to back it up, respond with, atheism is just a lack of belief.
Wait, why did, so, wait, you, you, you just, wait, why would you make the atheist a straw man? I can't point out a straw man when you've made it into a straw man. You made a construct straw man for me. You're taking away my job. My job is to say that's a straw man, but you've already made it a straw man. Why did you do that? It doesn't make any sense. So you're saying that what the atheist says here is a straw man of what atheists say by showing a straw man of the atheist. My brain can't take it. Anyways, sorry. So no, I'm not saying that God. I don't say that. Maybe somebody does. And so okay, what does it mean? What do you mean by God? It depends who you ask. Everyone has a different version of it, you know? So I wouldn't say God doesn't exist. I wouldn't say that. I might say a particular type of God doesn't exist, like an incoherent God, a God that requires square circles. That God can't exist. There you go. Okay. A different God? I don't know. Depends what you got. So I don't believe in the things that are called God, generally, broadly speaking. That's it. I'm not making any I'm not making any statement. It's a straw man, anyways. And he's saying, so he's saying that the atheist, my,
You have to prove it to me. It is important to keep in mind whether you are actually making a truth claim or not. If all you are claiming to have is a lack of belief, then there is nothing to discuss. You are bringing nothing to the debate. It is as
yeah. So why do you think I need to bring anything to the debate? You have to bring something to the debate. I mean, why do you even think they're whatever?
meaningless as someone saying, I really, really believe in God. Great, why should anyone else care?
That's a good question, but I've heard many theists say things like that. I just really believe in God. I was going through trying to find a video to do something about. Found this Latter Day Saints video where basically the guy's like, "Oh, I have a logical argument for God." And well, the video is titled that, and he's like, "Yeah, the Latter Day Saints teaching, the Mormon teaching, is the most logical thing ever." And that was like, and then he never said why that was so or how that was so. He just said it, and then that was it. And I'm like, what, what? You can't just say that and not, you know. So yeah, where's your proof then? Okay, fine. Even if you want to say, hey, look, you guys aren't proving your side. Okay, great. All you have to do is prove your side then. Fine. We're not proving our side. Nobody's proving our side. Okay, great. Now you prove your side. That's all. It doesn't matter if the opponent fails to provide proof. Okay, you haven't won yet. That doesn't mean you win just because your opponent loses. All right, now this might get a little bit strange, but bear with me. Okay, so if we are in a debate and we're pretending that we are, even though apparently you're debating a straw man, whatever. I still can't believe you put a straw man up there. I'm gonna steal that picture. That's great. That you say, okay, X is true, and I say X is not true. You go, oh, prove X is not true. Well, yeah, that's good. You got me. I can't do it. You still need to prove that X is true to win your side. Otherwise, it's like, well, you lost. I don't have to win. No, you kind of still have to win. So, you know.
Whether this kind of claim is true or not really doesn't matter. On the other hand, if you're making a truth claim, then that has teeth. Instead of merely saying, I believe in God, I say, God exists, then I am now making a claim about reality. Said claim requires two things. Firstly, it requires backup. I have to support it with evidence of some kind, scientific, personal experience, logic, etc. It also
personal experience means nothing, but evidence and logic, yeah, sure. So you're going to do that, right? I mean, you're going to do that now because you complained about the atheists not having that, right? So then, obviously, the thing to do would be to do that thing, right? Since you're complaining that atheists aren't doing that, great, fine, wonderful, terrific. I'll take that hit. We're not doing it. Whatever. Great. So you're totally gonna do it then. You're gonna give us the evidence, the logical argument, right? The personal experience I don't care about. You're gonna give us that, right? Right? He's not gonna not do it. I mean, that would be silly. I mean, wouldn't that be extremely silly to be like, you're not doing this thing and then not do it yourself? I mean, he'd have to be insane to do that. Okay, so does anyone want to bet that he's totally gonna do the thing I said he shouldn't do? Taking all bets here. All bets being taken. Here we go.
demands a response. It must be accepted or rejected by other people because the claim now does matter. If I am correct, then God does actually exist. This has ramifications for you, regardless of whether you agree or not. Now, this is a mistake that, in my experience, is often made by atheists, including famous ones. So, as an example, I couldn't find a clip of it, unfortunately, but there was a debate between Christopher Hitchens, a famous atheist, and Frank Turek, who is a reasonably famous Christian apologist. And I think the subject of the debate was, does theism or atheism provide a better explanation for reality? Now, in this debate, Christopher Hitchens said at one point, atheism makes no claim, or something to that effect. Now, had I been in Frank's shoes and had the wherewithal, what occurred to me when watching the debate was, well, he's just conceded the entire debate. The response to that statement is, well, why are you here then? If you're not making a claim, why are you taking part in the debate?
So you're gonna provide us evidence, and hell, I'll take the personal experience at this point and the logical argument, right? You're gonna give us that, right? Any moment now.
And of course, you don't get to write a book called The God Delusion and then claim that you merely lack belief. There is
So you're gonna give us the evidence.
A distinct difference between, on the one hand, not believing in something, and on the other hand, believing that something is not. The quality of lack of belief is also shared by rocks, cars, trees, as far as we know, and corpses. This is why.
Okay. So you're gonna give us the evidence, personal experience, and logic for your side, right? I mean, I guess I could complain about this stuff. Should I complain about this stuff or wait for him to give the evidence? Let's see. All right, I'm gonna complain about this stuff. He's not gonna give us anything, and so it's okay. So lack of belief, no. The thing is, I disagree with this idea. Okay, now I know this is a natural language problem. Okay, so for me, it's just me. You can think differently. If you think differently, let me know in the comments below once it becomes a video. Okay, I see you in chat. I can't respond to you in chat and do this. I got to do one or the other, all right? So, unless you can actually believe something, then you don't have a lack of belief about something. Okay, so if you do not have the capacity for belief, then you do not have the capacity to not believe. Okay, that's my view of things. That's my view of reality. Okay, so inanimate objects like rocks cannot believe or not believe in anything. They do not have the capacity to do that. An inanimate object like a car, same thing. Inanimate object like a skeleton, although I guess, like, is it inanimate? Like, if it's still, like, it's dying, like, at some point the skeleton becomes inanimate. Okay, and then the tree is alive, but it doesn't have consciousness, or maybe it does, but doesn't have the kind of. As far as I know, trees aren't. Trees might be conscious. I don't know if they are. I don't think that a tree is conscious. A tree can't believe stuff, probably, with asterisks over it, because I don't know about trees and consciousness, okay? The tree probably can't believe or not believe in stuff. It doesn't have the sort of brain required to have that sort of thought, more than likely. I could be wrong. I'm not an expert on trees. Leave me alone. I said the. So, okay, so no to that. And also, I don't care, even if that was true. Who cares? Doesn't matter. So you're totally gonna you're gonna give us the evidence for your side, then, right? I mean, yeah.
I think that the lack of belief thing is in the end the result of the lack of moral courage. If you're going to make a truth claim, e.g., God does not exist,
come on,
then back it up.
Okay, but I'm not making,
e.g., I lack belief in God, then you're not really saying anything, and there's no reason for anybody to listen to you.
Okay, well, no, okay, I am still saying stuff, and there's plenty of reasons to listen to me. One, I'm awesome. Secondly, lobsters exist. Third, I need the attention, and four, stuff. I don't know. Whatever. But okay, so right, the debate thing. Okay, so no. Look, by the way, the God delusion is not saying there is no. Well, I guess it is saying there's no God, but it's saying that God's a delusion, so that there's a God, but it's existing in a different way. It only exists in the brain and nowhere else, and it's just made up as an idea, right? Okay. But you're bringing something to the table in that you're saying, look, I'm here to say no to whatever you're saying, and you're here to prove me wrong. That's still bringing something to the table. And so, well, what's your burden of proof? I don't have any. I'm just here to say no to whatever you say. Well, that's not fair. No, I never said it was going to be fair. That's just what I'm here to do. I'm a skeptic. That's what we do. We say, no, prove it. Prove it. Well, that's what we say. We just say, prove it. We go, yeah, how do you know that? Prove it. Oh, yeah? How did you figure that out? Like, there's this, I know someone, he's like, oh, no, I know that this is true. And I'm like, really? How do you know that? And like, take a beat. Yeah. Did you look it up? No. Well, yeah, you don't know it. You're saying that you know it, but you have no idea, do you? No, I don't know it. It's just, I wanted to say that I knew it. I don't. And I don't want to admit that you're right, so I won't do that. I'm like, yeah, but I'm right. Anyways, whatever. So yeah, you're still bringing something to the table, but even if you weren't, okay, great, fair. They don't bring anything to the table, so where's your evidence then? Just show us your evidence. Stop complaining that they're not doing the thing fine. They're not doing the thing. So where's your evidence? Give me the evidence. Give it to me. You've got 4 minutes left. Do it.
So what happens then if you genuinely don't know? So far we've described two mutually exclusive propositions. There's one or the other. Either God exists or he does not exist. Rejection of one proposition, God exists, is de facto acceptance of the other proposition. Therefore, everyone, even those who lack belief, quote unquote, in God, still have a worldview that requires justification. But what about if you genuinely don't know? Well, there's not.
What? Pretty sure that what you said is wrong, but my fork fell down when you said it, and I don't feel like rewinding. So
really any refuge there either. Intellectual uncertainty is one thing, but to see what people really believe, you watch their actions. Let's ask the man himself.
Wait! You could die. At least tell me your name.
It's not who I am underneath, but what I do that defines me.
Bruce?
I couldn't have said it better.
what? What? Huh? What? What? Uh, yeah. Yeah. So I guess this is the appeal to Batman. Ad Batlium, as it's known in logical circles. Yes, ad Batlium, a very infrequently used logical fallacy. The appeal to Batman has been around since Aristotle's time. You might doubt that statement, but I don't care anymore because he appealed to Batman. He appealed to fucking Batman. The hell? Why would you do that? Why would you? Why? But I don't. What is okay? So watch what they do. Their actions. No, just like ask people. That's how you find out. Maybe they're lying. I guess, but like, what? How couldn't? Okay, so acting how you believe. Okay, this is like a Peterson sort of thing. Okay, all right. So like you can figure out what a person believes by how they act. Okay, great. All right. And so what? That has nothing to do with anything, even if it's true. If fucking add Batmeal, Shamala. What was I doing, anyways?
To myself. Now there is certain behaviour I would expect from someone who is genuinely on the fence.
Why
and
are
this
you?
is well explained by Jordan Peterson in this clip.
See, no, I see. I knew you were gonna say the Peterson thing. I'm just gonna skip the clip because I know what he says. You act out what you believe. Blah blah blah. But yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I kind of.
Christ.
Okay. All right. So, it doesn't matter who says it. It just matters if it's true or not. So you act out what you believe. That might be true. I don't know. But I'll take that as a truth. I'll say, sure, I'll grant it. That means if we're going to hold to that people act out what they believe, what that means is that 0 people believe in an afterlife, except for the people who kill themselves. Those are the only ones that believed in an afterlife. Everyone else that's trying to stay alive doesn't believe in an afterlife because they're not acting as if there is an afterlife. They're acting as if there isn't an afterlife. So fine. I'll accept the idea that people act out their belief. That means nobody believes in an afterlife. Yet, people insist that they do believe in an afterlife. So maybe it's not a fully true statement. Maybe it's true for some things, but not for others. Maybe it's not true at all. But I think that because I've provided a potential counterexample, this is at best a half-truth. But even if it's true, it doesn't prove your point. So, still waiting for the evidence, still waiting for your personal experience, still waiting for your valid and sound argument, and you've got, however many minutes left. I can't do math, so whatever.
Now, you would expect such a person to investigate matters and eventually reach a conclusion that leads them to one side of the fence or the other. In my experience, this isn't generally what happens. People say, I don't know, but they don't really live as if they don't know. Now, someone who claims to be an agnostic, I'm just not sure, but lives their life doing whatever they feel like with no reference to God and with no interest in or curiosity about God or seeking him out to see if he actually exists or not, is an atheist. No matter what they might say about what they believe, their actions show that they are in fact certain, even if they don't intellectually think they are.
I don't care because I'm not agnostic, but I think that conclusion is erroneous and completely incoherent. You're basing it off of a potentially half-truth statement made. I mean, whatever. Okay, but there's a problem also here. If they don't know what God is, or even that God is, why would they spend any time and energy looking for it? How would they even know how to look for it? Isn't that a problem in and of itself? Like, I'm like, I don't know about leprechauns. All right, I'm just gonna do my own thing. I'm not gonna look into it to see if they're true or not. Why should I? The people that do believe in leprechauns don't give me any good real reason to do so. So there's nothing compelling me to look for them. And if they really existed, well, that'd be great. But it's not doing me any good. Now, if they actually wanted to say hi to me, that might be different. But they haven't done that. So why is it that they have to go after the leprechauns? But none of this, even if true, again, none of this proves your point, your side of the story. Still waiting for that. Yeah, I know. I'm going to keep saying that until he does it. And then when he doesn't do it, I don't know. It's probably me going insane. So wait for it because you know it's going to happen.
I've already picked a side, even if they think they haven't. Now, as a wise man once said, watch out for false prophets. They come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ferocious wolves. By their fruit you will recognize them. Do people pick grapes from thorn bushes or figs from...
Why the hell are you appealing to the Bible? No, really. Why are you appealing to the Bible? Like, you haven't shown that the Bible is a thing. Just like when you appeal to Peterson. Like, okay, he's a psychologist, and he has an idea. The idea might be true, might be half... I think it's a half-truth. I don't think it's a full truth. All right, and... You know, who else also... Now, it would be different if, like, you had, like, a wide variety of experts that said, look, it's human nature. We act out what we believe. We've shown this in demonstrable tests, and here's all this evidence, blah, for it, you know. And then, like, you know, you would do that for the Bible. Here's reasons why we should care what the bleep it says, you know. But you didn't do that, so I don't care, and I'm skipping this. Skip. Okay.
was talking about how to recognize false prophets, people pretending to be Christians, but it is more generally applicable as well, I think.
Yeah, but, like, yeah, whatever. I mean, the very fact that you could have people that you could say are pretending to be Christians suggests to me the no true Scotsman fallacy is baked into the system. So you have a no true Christian thing as a logical fallacy that's justified in some way, shape, or form. But what methods do you use to say that person isn't a Christian? Like, what is that? Does it lay it out? Does everybody agree on that? No. Anyways, still, you haven't done the thing yet. Waiting for your evidence.
Now, this is all basically a long-winded way of saying that it's not really possible to be on the fence on this issue. Or, I should say, to remain on the fence on this issue.
I'm a skeptic. I don't even know that there is a fence. So, what fence? What kind of fence? Where is it located? What are you talking about? Why should I, prove that there's a fence? Who built it? When? Where? Show me the evidence that it exists. What is a fence, anyways? Describe a fence in detail. Draw a fence for me. Go ahead. Oh, wait, that's a particular type of fence. You're talking about a universalistic fence? That kind of a fence can't exist. In reality, it can only exist in our brains. And then, oh, wait, maybe you'll finally get to the evidence now. Yeah, I mean, you have, like, less than a minute left. So, like, you're totally going to give us the evidence now.
In the end, a decision has to be made before we die, leaving aside the fact that a certain level of fence sitting is inevitable, since no one...
Why does the decision have to be made before you die? Why? That's an assumption that you've made on your part. How do you know that? How do you know that the decision has to be made now? How do you know that? I'm asking a question. How do you know that? That's another claim you've made about God. You have to decide now. How do you know that? You don't know that. Why would that be the case? Why would that matter? Oh, my word!
One can be completely 100% certain with no doubts whatsoever of what they think is true. Incidentally, this is where I think Jordan Peterson's living as if God is real thing is much better applied than where he actually applies it, which to my mind is on the wrong side of the question, but that is a topic for another time. For some of us, death will reveal whether our choice was the correct one or not, because if atheism is true, then you'll just cease to exist and won't actually be there to know it, but you get my point. For
Not really. I mean, if you're not there to not know anything, you don't get to know that you were wrong. So you just don't know because you're not there anymore to know or not know. But that's not atheism is true. That's if there's not an afterlife. There could be a God and no afterlife. Matt, you haven't considered that possibility? Or there could be an afterlife, but no God. I don't know. Why? Atheism has nothing about the afterlife. You could be an atheist and believe there's an afterlife.
others, the determined fence sitters, it will reveal the choice that we actually made, whether we knew or not, or were prepared to admit or not.
Huh?
So those were some thoughts about how the burden of proof works in
no,
atheism
but you
versus
did-
theism
No,
debates.
you
I hope it was
you-
useful.
you did-
There's quite a
you-
few articles online about this as
you-
well.
oh,
If you'd
yeah,
like to check them out, I've
no,
linked to one
no,
of them in the
give me-
description.
No,
Thank
no,
you very much for watching, and I hope
you-
to see you next
you're
time.
right. Huh?
Take care.
He didn't do it. He didn't do it. I told you he wasn't going to do it. I was right. He didn't do it. Okay, I said he was going to do it, and then he didn't do it. That makes me dumb. But I said that he wasn't going to do it because I knew he wasn't going to do it. He didn't do it. He didn't give it. That's the point of this video then. You complained in the whole video. You're not bringing anything to the debate. You're not bringing anything to the debate. Then what the hell was the point of this video? You brought nothing. You're just saying, where's your thing? Give me that thing. And then he was like, and I'm like, meow, meow, I'm a turkey. And then blue smells like grapes. And, I was like, what's going on? I was like, Logic is a tiny bird that smells bad. And then I put my hand into my eyeball and I pulled it out. But it wasn't an eye. It was my brain. And then my brain melted into goo that turned into something. So, yeah, there you go. I'm glad you're happy. You broke the averted man. Are you happy? Are you happy now? I bet you are. You, whatever you are. You believe in Shamagana? Post your comments in the comment section. Leave your likes and your dislikes. Let me know. I don't have a PayPal, or I do have PayPal. I don't do Patreon. You can just buy my book if you like me, I guess. Just do that. Buy my book and then review my book and then interview me about my book. I need somebody to interview me about my book. Anyways, so that was a thing I did. Thanks for watching.